What's going on, everybody? This is Seth Ford here, and today I am back with another college football prediction video. And man, we are all finally here waiting for one of the best games of the season. It's rivalry week. It's the last game of the year. It's kind of crazy how time just goes by after 11 games. We are week number 13, or week 14 of the last regular season. Had to think there for a second. But one of the best rivalries in sports, we got the Ohio State Buckeyes, who are ranked first in the nation, going on the road to the Big House, one of the best stadium atmospheres in college football, to face off their arch rival, their enemy, the team up north, which is the ranked 18th Michigan Wolverines. And man, the last 4 years, Michigan has won against Ohio State. Last year, I was actually really shocked that Michigan beat Ohio State last year at Ohio State, and that was a fun game to watch because, I kind of dislike Ohio State in a way. I've been more towards Michigan, mainly because of relatives and stuff like that too. But anyways, this is going to be an epic matchup because I think that the Ohio State Buckeyes have circled this game throughout the whole season, despite their season has kind of been they've had a okay season for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're 11-0. Their first game was Texas, and other than that, they've faced off Illinois. They faced off some competition, but other than that, they pretty much steamrolled throughout the whole season. So they're fresh, they're angry, they're hungry, they're ready to beat Michigan this year and take revenge at the Big House. So as further ado, let's go ahead and go through this prediction video. Got also, the rankings will probably change. Maybe Michigan will bump down. Hey, if Michigan beats Ohio State this year, maybe they're in. They've been winning a lot of games lately. They're 9-2. So far, Strom Moore knows how to beat Ohio State too. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game to play. So I can't wait for this game this upcoming Saturday. So all right, so the location, like I said, is at Michigan Stadium, the Big House. Also, the time is 12 p.m. Eastern time. I really wish this would be like a primetime night game. That would have been awesome, but it's probably cold, and you probably don't want that, so it'll be brutal for fans. So 12 o'clock is just the standard time. But we'd love to see this game be either 3:30 p.m. or a night game. So that would have been sick. But anyways, it is what it is. So you guys have the location. And then last week for Week 13, pretty much both teams steamrolled their opponents. Ohio State destroyed Rutgers 42-9. The record is 11-0 and 8-0 in the conference. So Ohio State has done a great job this year with their schedule. Michigan lost some games, but then they are 9-2 with Bryce Underwood as their quarterback, the new quarterback. So their offense, though, Michigan's offense has been kind of shaky here in the last 3 or 4 games. They barely beat Northwestern. They barely beat somebody else that was kind of bad, but Michigan still holds on, and they won 45-20, but they pretty much destroyed Maryland yesterday. So 45-20. The record is 9-2 and 7-1 in conference. So still, honestly, not a bad year for Michigan. Honestly, with the first year quarterback Bryce Young, and of course Julian Sayin, both quarterbacks have done a great job for their teams, and so it's been an interesting year for both of these schools. All right, so that was last week's update, and then the previous meeting. I forgot to put the hyphenated thing there. Anyways, previous meeting was November 30th of 2024, which was last year, pretty much around Thanksgiving as well. Michigan upset OSU 13-10. That was crazy, but then, which was funny, that was Ohio State's second loss, and this was the first year of the college 12-team playoff system, and of course, Ohio State got to the playoff system and won the national championship. So, hey, maybe Michigan still can potentially beat Ohio State, but hey, we'll see how it is. But they've won the last 4 matchups, I think, and Michigan leads the all-time series of the rival series, 62-51, or 62 wins, 52 losses, and 6 ties for the all-time rival series. And there you guys go for the previous meeting. And then we got the stat leaders. So we got quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and of course defensive lineman, linebacker, and defensive back. We got Bryce Underwood, who's had a solid season for a rookie quarterback. 16 completions to 23 attempts with 215 yards of passing, 9.3 yards average per throw. He had 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Pretty solid. We got running back Bryson Kuzdal, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He's a first-year guy, or he's a guy that came in and replaced Haynes, who is their main starter. Had a great game yesterday. He had 20 carries, 100 yards, averaged about 5.0 per carry. He had 3 touchdowns as well. So solid day for a great day for him. So we got also wide receiver Andrew Marsh. He had 5 receptions, 76 yards of receiving, averaged about 15.2 per catch, and he had 1 touchdown as well. So there you guys have the offensive stat leaders for Michigan. Then we got the Ohio State Buckeyes. Julian Sayin, who's had a great rookie year. He went 13 for 19 with 157 yards of passing, averaged about 8.3 per throw, and he had 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. A solid day for him because they pretty much destroyed Rutgers, so he didn't really have to do that much. We got running back Bo Jackson. He had 19 carries, 110 yards of rushing, averaged about 5.8 per carry. He had 2 touchdowns. A solid day for him. We got a wide receiver Max Clare. He had 7 receptions, 105 yards of receiving, averaged about 15.0 per catch, and he had 1 touchdown. So solid day overall for the Ohio State Buckeyes offense. Then now, next we go to their defense. Stat leaders for Michigan. Michigan has always had a solid defense. Their offense is always the one that's usually the shaky one, but they still get the job done. But we got Rayshon Benny, defensive lineman. He had 3 total tackles, 1 solo against Maryland. We got linebacker Jayshawn Barham. He had 4 total tackles, 3 solo, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for losses. And defensive back Mason Curtis. He had 6 total tackles and 2 solos. So there you guys have it for Michigan's defense. Then we got stat leaders on defense for the Ohio State Buckeyes. We got defensive lineman Caden Curry. Had a solid day with 6 total tackles, 4 solo, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles for losses. Solid day for him. Linebacker Peyton Pierce. 5 total tackles, 3 solo, and defensive back lastly Jalen McLean with 4 total tackles and 3 solo. So there you guys have it for the stat leaders. Then we go to the full team stats. So Michigan offense, they had 443 yards on offense, and they only allowed 347 yards on defense. But I think that a lot of it was just stat padding for Maryland because they were already down big, and so they just pretty much, I guess you can say, late in the game. But I didn't watch the game, so I'm blindly reacting to this game and predicting it the way I see it. Passing, not really great for Maryland, or not Maryland, but Michigan. They kind of struggled in the passing game this year, mainly because I think a lot of Michigan fans are tired of the way Sherrone Moore is calling plays on offense. So they had 215 yards on offense. They allowed 276 yards on defense. That's a little concerning. Rushing yards, they did have 228 yards of rushing, and they only allowed 71 yards, which is pretty solid, allowed on defense. So there you guys have it for Michigan. For Ohio State, they had 430 yards on offense. They only allowed 147 yards on defense, which is really solid. Passing, 176 yards. Not great, but they didn't really have to do anything against Rutgers. Defense, they only allowed 81 passing yards on defense, which was really solid for them. And for rushing, they had 254 yards of offense, and their defense only allowed 66 yards of rushing. So that's a pretty solid day for their defense for the Ohio State Buckeyes. All right, so again, more team stats. First downs, Michigan had 22 first downs. The third down efficiency was 12 for 14, which was 85%. They didn't do anything for fourth downs. They had 0 turnovers on offense, and they forced 1 turnover on defense. Penalties, they only had 4 penalties, which was like 30 yards total. Not too bad. Possessions, they had 35 minutes and 38 seconds, so pretty solid for a team overall with the time management. And the Ohio State Buckeyes, first downs, they had 25 first downs. They had 3 for 6 for 50% on third down efficiency. Fourth down, they didn't have to do anything on fourth down efficiency. Turnovers, they did have 1 turnover on offense. They did have 1 forced turnover on defense. They had 5 penalties, which was 60 yards total. Possession, they had 32 minutes and 49 minutes overall. So there you guys have it for that. And then we got team comparison for rating. There's Michigan is 22nd out of 136 schools. Pretty solid. 15.2 was their score. I guess I don't really know how that score works. Their offense are ranked 45th in the nation. Not great, so they need to get better at that and improve with that. With having 31 points per game. Their defense, though, is really solid, like always every year. They're ranked 10th in the nation with only allowing 50 points per game. The record at home is 5-0. The record away is 5-2. They lost to Oklahoma and they lost to USC. And of course, they are 0-1 in ranked versus ranked teams this year. All right, so lastly, Ohio State, they're ranked first out of the 136 schools with a score of 32.4. Offense ranked 6th out of the 136 with averaging about 40.6 points per game. Defense, they're ranked first out of the 136, which is pretty solid, only allowing less than 10 points a game, which is 8.3. The record at home is 7-0 with a win over, at the time, number 1 ranked Texas, and record away 4-0 with the win over number 17th ranked Illinois. So they kind of had an easy-ish schedule, but the Big Ten is still tough. But they still kind of had an easy schedule. That's why a lot of people don't think that Ohio State may have a chance this year. But hey, we'll see. They're fresh, they're hungry, they're ready to dominate as per usual. So record versus ranked teams 2-0. So there you guys have it for the team comparisons. All right, so the prediction. This is going to be a very tough one because you guys know that Ohio State is hungry for revenge, and somehow, some way, Michigan the last 2 to 3 years have figured out a way to upset Ohio State and beat Ohio State. So they're ready. They circle this game all season long as the Ohio State. But I think that the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to beat Michigan at Michigan because of the offensive play. I'm a little concerned with Sharon Moore's offense. That are they going to handle the impact of Ohio State's defense, and their defensive line could dominate. Could their linebackers could just cover well. The secondaries cover well. I think that the score will be by -6 points. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think that Ohio State is going to win 23-17. It could go either way because this is a rival game. But comment down below what you guys think about this one. Who is going to win this one? It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be another low-scoring game. And I think by a slight percent of a chance that Michigan might beat Ohio State this year again. So who knows? This is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait. So comment down below. Guys, step forward here. Y'all have a great rest of the day. And see you guys next time. I'll probably talk about Auburn versus Alabama and may talk about someone else as well. So guys, y'all have a great rest of the day. See you guys next time. Peace out.